Hello, and welcome to Curbside Counselor. Today, we are continuing our 8-part series of insights based on A Course in Miracles. Today's short episode is about dissecting belief systems. And we'll talk a little bit about how you got these beliefs, how these beliefs relate to everything, and what you have come to believe you are. So let's jump right in. Series 1, Episode 4, Dissecting Our Belief Systems. Now, there are 2 factors that make up belief systems and subsequent behavior: heredity and environment. While some general characteristics are naturally inherited by you from being born into human lineage, such as hair color, face shape, and body type, the environment you grow up in greatly affects your behavior. In this episode, we will call the belief system your ego. Defining ego is as easy as this simple statement: what I think I am. Everything you learn from experiences with your parents, your teachers, your friends, affects what you decide to believe. You'll also interject into your beliefs what you think about yourself, like how much you like your hair color, the shape of your nose, whether you like your body, whether you think you're cute or thin, fat or ugly, for example. Your premise is the total of all you believe about life and yourself and your relationship to everything. But it's not the true reality of what you are. Instead, this is what you have come to believe is true about yourself. Keep these 3 things in mind when believing things about yourself. 1, the ego is not truth. If it were, it would remain constant and would be the same for everyone. 2, you made it up, and it changes every moment of every day. And 3, because you made it, you love it and must defend it at all costs. I'm talking about what you believe about yourself. So let's reinforce that. What you make, you love, and must protect and defend with everything you have. Sounds a little patriotic, but this life is all about you and your world. That's what you are defending. Ask yourself, what are the beliefs that you have made up and are proud of and must defend? I'm sure there are tens of thousands of them, but for now, we're here to address just a few deep ones which affect everything in your life. These deeply ingrained beliefs that you have guide the world and also control your life to the degree that you have accepted them. This is not to approve or disprove their validity, but to be aware that they exist. I will list 4 areas here of belief, and I'll explain briefly the effect that they have on your life. The first one is guilt. At the very bedrock of our world's belief system lies a core belief that there is something wrong with being human. There are tons of religious teachings that will throw the water bucket of guilt over you. Even if you reject the various religious teachings, you cannot escape the saturation of guilt. If you've ever felt ashamed, embarrassed, inadequate, or felt you didn't like yourself, this comes from the ageless teaching that you are guilty. And guilt always calls for punishment. The guilt complex is what makes you sabotage your own dreams, makes you allow abusive treatment from others. It's what makes you easily fall into self-punishment. Here's a quick example. You say, "Oh, I can't eat that piece of cake because it's too much sugar. It'll make me blow up like a balloon if I do, and I'll feel fat." So hence, the feeling of being fat would be your punishment. The next deeply ingrained belief is body. That you are a physical body is a very accepted idea and probably the most difficult to change. Looking at yourself in the mirror, you might say, "Hey, that's me." And then you might criticize what you see. Someone else may have criticized you and your body, your hair, or your whole entire look at some point in life. Being attracted to another, you'll focus on their body first as the attracting force. Maybe they have nice features, cute smile, great hair, or a nice physique. All of our lives we spend our money, our time, and quite a lot of effort seeking comfort and pleasure for the body. Because when the body's in pain, it seems very, very real. The next deep ingrained belief is separate. Because you think you are a body, you appear to be separate and act as though You have separate interests. Ownership of things in the world reinforces this as well. This is mine and that is yours. If I can take one of your things and put them into my stash of things, then I have gained and you have lost. So to the degree that your personal beliefs differ from another's, you will appear to have a separate purpose in life. This idea supports the premise that you are separate, and most importantly, the aspect of this concept that you are completely separate, and in so, you will believe that all the good that happens comes from a power which is outside and separate from you. The next ingrained belief is incomplete. Because you believe you are a body, you have needs. If you were whole or complete, you would have no needs. You declare your needs to the world in one way or another, and in doing so, you teach yourself that you are incomplete. When you focus on trying to meet your needs in the physical realm of things, you forget who you are. So that's just a few examples of deep to the core things that make up your beliefs. And of course, there are so many more examples to speak of. And we may touch on those as we go along in this series. You now know that the rational mind guides you to respond to the world with choices that provide experiences to support your beliefs. And because your experience supports the premise that guided your choice, you reinforce the ideas for yourself. So in essence, you really only teach yourself. Believe it or not, you don't learn anything from what you see, hear, or read. That only makes you aware of any idea. It doesn't become yours until you express it, give it away, or teach it. The true purpose for sharing anything is to reinforce it in your own mind. This system of believing, or the ego if you want to label it, functions to help guide you and prove that you are right and that what you believe is really true. Its options are pretty much locked into only what fits with your deep-seated beliefs. So, that gives you something to think about today or during the rest of your week. If you have time, you can always note down thoughts on each one of the subjects I mentioned today: guilt, body, separate, or incomplete. It also wouldn't hurt to re-listen to this podcast because sometimes hearing it again, you will catch what you didn't hear the first time around. We will talk more about the ego in our next episode. We have a lot more to share to help you know yourself better. Keep listening with an open heart, and we'll see you next time when we talk about knowing your wholeness and that you are loved. Until then, thanks for listening.